contract gains $13.30 at $828.10 per ton, and the March contract adds $11.70 at $824.50 per ton. StatCan cuts nearly 1 million tons off of its 2022 production estimate for canola. The 18.17 million tons comes in well below most trade projections. As well, all wheat is reduced by almost 900,000 tons at 33.82 million. StatCan also made production cuts to spring wheat, durum, corn, lentils, and dry peas. There are increases to barley, flax, oats, fall rye, and winter wheat. There is some consternation in the market as several analysts and traders are taking issue with StatCan's satellite modeling for its September report and comparing that with its survey-based December report. The Canadian dollar is lower on Friday morning as the United States dollar regains some of the ground it lost yesterday. The loonie slips to 74.21 US cents compared to Thursday's close of 74.44. A railway strike in the U.S. has been averted. On Thursday, Congress passed legislation imposing a deal on the railway unions. An amendment to add 7 days paid sick leave was defeated. Argentina's corn planting is reported to be 25% complete and its soybean planting at 29% finished. Both are well behind last year's pace. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange pegs Argentina's soybean production at 48 million tons. Reports out of Brazil say that country's corn crop is to be a record 125 million tons. Riding off prices at the Chicago Board of Trade, soybean futures are turning around to push higher on Friday. The January contract gained 7 cents at $14.36.5 per bushel. January soy oil gives up about 1.9 cents at 65.47 US cents per pound. January soy meal dips 80 cents at $420.80 per short ton. Corn futures are weaker with the March contract down 11 cents at $6.50 per bushel. Chicago oats are down with its March contract losing 7.5 cents at $3.71. The U.S. wheat complex is falling back as Chicago March gives up 24 cents at $7.59. Kansas City March falls 27.5 cents at $8.63. And Minneapolis March is down 14 cents at $9.24. That's a look at the ICE futures and Chicago markets for Friday morning, December 2nd. For Markets Farm in Winnipeg, I'm Glenn Halleck.
It's winter again. You know what that means. You shovel your driveway, sweep off the skiff of remaining snow, and are proud of your hard work. Your back reflects that work. Then, as you enjoy your coffee, peering out the window, reminiscing of the great job, the snowplow comes by, builds up a small mountain that even the highest lifted truck won't climb. Fire up your new blower from Butler Farm Equipment today. Attack that mountain and take back what's yours, your driveway. Now get on with your day while your neighbors go climbing. Moving snow like it's snow. Butler Farm Equipment. Plows, blades, blowers, and more. Moving mountains daily on 107th Street.
The opinions expressed during this show do not represent those of this station. If you've missed any of this show, you can follow the podcast at energeticcity.ca. Now, an in-depth look at the news and information shaping our community. This is Moose Talks with your host, Doug Craig, on Moose FM.
Welcome to another episode of Moose Talks. A little later on, we're going to catch up with Jared Winkel. He used to play for the Flyers, was one of their best forwards. Now plays for the played for the Huskies. Now plays for the Senior Flyers and happens to be the coach of the Northeast BC Yukon Midget U-18 Trackers. So we're going to talk a bit about how their season's going, how the transition to coaching is going, all that's good stuff with Jared in about 15 or so minutes time. But first, the Women's Resource Society does a lot of great work around the community. You hear all about them at energeticcity.ca and on these airwaves all the time, especially at Christmas time. So, to talk a bit about what's happening around Christmas, all the things they need your help with, and just kind of how the year's gone to this point, we're joined now by WRS Board President Sherry Marshall and Board Secretary Amber Lindley. Sherry, welcome to Moose Talks.
Hello, Dub. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining me. And Amber, welcome to Moose Talks.
Hi, Dub.
Thanks so much for both of you for being here. I thought we'd start with a bit of a look back. Everybody knows that this year it's been trying, especially with the prices of things going up, especially the price of food. You guys have a bit of a food bank and the outreach store and all that. I imagine that's been one of the many challenges that the society has faced in just sort of the value of a dollar doesn't stretch as far as it did even a year ago, eh, Sherry?
Yes, and our numbers have increased. We're seeing a lot of refugee families now. We're seeing a lot of people that we never saw before because the cost of living is higher now. We see a lot more of addiction problems, mental health problems, and the resources not being readily available to them because some things have not returned to normal since COVID. Our shop has stayed open through COVID, still staying open. Things look a little different. We got the table up front, and we have food out there and coffee, and but our shelves for our top up for people. We're always looking for food, hygiene products. Right now, we're going to stop collecting clothing donations just for the Christmas season here because we're going to have open to food, hygiene products, winter coats, hats, gloves. Because the girls in the back, Lily, our new outreach coordinator, has her and her elves have set up the table and they've got presents out for kids, and you can bring your child down if you're from a low income family, which generally runs under 40,000 per household is your income. And you can bring your children down, and the moms and dads or the guardian, actually, I should say guardian, can go in the back with Lily and her elves and wrap a gift, and the child get a gift. And it's just something that we've done every year. And the girls do a really great job in the back. They're all excited for everybody to come. So, and even our outreach, every year we see the shelves go less and less, you know, and it's harder not only on the people that are coming, but even our community for giving. They're really great for giving, but even they're finding a hard time too.
I was going to ask that, and by the way, we will touch on the donations and what's needed and all that again later on in the show. But I wonder if you could speak to, in general, has it been a struggle getting donations? Because again, this has been hard on everybody, even the people who normally have lots of funds to give, maybe don't have the same amount that they've had in previous years. Has that been a struggle for the society?
I think that's a huge struggle right now. I did the cost comparison with one of the girls in the back the other day because we're short on craft dinner of all things. Because everybody knows you buy craft dinner and you donate it. But craft dinner used to cost 99 cents a box. Yeah. It's $2.79 I think now. Wow. So huge difference. So if I've got $20 to spend to donate, I now can buy not even 10 boxes of craft dinner, where before I could buy a case and a half, right? So huge difference in what people can give, because all of us are struggling with grocery bills being higher and stuff, right? So people are still stepping up to the plate, thank goodness, but that's a really tough one with everybody, because it's everybody's purse is a little bit tighter than normal, and we really have to watch what that looks like, right? Who knew craft dinner was going to be a thing?
Right. Is this something then maybe corporations are helping out more than, because they have a bit bigger of a dollar value to throw around? Is that something you look to, or maybe you've seen an increase in because, well, as we said, individuals don't have as much to give as they used to?
The businesses in Fort St. John are so helpful for us. They always step up to the plate when we come to them, and they give what they can, and sometimes some give more, but we are so grateful for the businesses that support us, not just at Christmas, but all year long. There's many that are always step up, and it's kind of funny because sometimes you'll be opening the mail there, and companies will just send a check. You haven't even talked to them. They just send a check and here, sponsor families, and they're really, really, really great.
Yeah, so they're not even like, and this isn't to badmouth companies who do this, but they're not even like, they're just like, here's the money. They don't need to come have a photo op and all that sort of thing. They're just like, we just want to help. So
that's exactly it. They don't want to be advertised. They just say, hey, we just want to help.
Amazing.
And sometimes the staff will do a staff party on their own and collect monies, and then the company will match that. And they're the same way. They just drop it off and say, here, we did this.
Wonderful. Well, then going into the Christmas season, then was there, because again, tell me if I'm wrong, you generally see more people during this time of year, right? There's people who are like, food hampers become a bigger thing. You get busier than even you were already. Were you concerned, or how concerned were you about the state of the outreach store? How many donations you had in cash and food and whatnot going into this season? Is there a big concern that it might get really tight to kind of help everybody who has asked for help so far, and we expect will be asking for help?
Oh, we're always worried about that.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you come into the outreach program, you're looking at the shelves and just hoping that we'll make the winter season. In the summer we can go out and we can sit at grocery stores and we can bombard people there. But wintertime it seems like you think, oh, it's so cold, no one's going to come down here you get them lined up at the door, and they're just waiting to get in and get their items, and they're flying off the shelf. And like you said, it's craft dinner, it's the little things, toilet paper.
Well, those things
hygiene.
are super expensive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially personal hygiene items. Women's hygiene items, that's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
I think part of our biggest problem has always been is that lots of people see us as this little tiny thing that we do one thing. Well, the Women's Resource is we have all these programs that go on all the time. So sometimes just businesses doing awareness pieces for us and this is what we need and whatever that looks like, right? Because everything is astronomically more expensive, and we somehow miracles we all figure it out, right? we always figure it out. But yes, because we do have a very generous community, and people just come out of the woodwork almost and help you in all different ways, right? Which is super nice.
Absolutely. And Deb, it's not just families. We have seniors that with the cost of living, their cost goes up, and they're not making the end of the month for their groceries. So you will see them come to subsidize their income. And it's really hard because you're seeing a senior that is not having everything they need.
That's right. Spent their life paying into the pension system, for example.
And not making the end of the month. And so it's very difficult. And I'm so thankful that we have all of the programs at the Women's Resource, because we are helping so many people. I don't think the community knows how hard our numbers have gone. I mean, they jump every year since COVID started. It just started doubling.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to have you back in the new year once you've prepared those numbers to sort of say, okay, here's exactly what it is. I'm with Board President Sherry Marshall and Board Secretary Amber Lindley of the Women's Resource Society. You mentioned, I want to quickly make sure we do talk about all the programs you do offer before we get to kind of the specific donations we need for the Christmas season, if we could.
Okay, so in our office, we have a family law advocate, Talitha Nielsen, who deals with people finding themselves in situations of either spousal abuse or child custody. Then you have Melody Blaney, who does our law advocate, poverty law. They both deal with women and men, and she helps with just necessities of taxes, housing, disability payments, stuff like that. Then we have Lisa, who does our Sky's Place transition housing for abused women and children. And we have 12 units, which are full. And then we have Lily, now our new outreach coordinator, who actually deals with our clothing donations, food donations. It's a busy job, that one. And then we have HIV program. We have, I've lost the name of it now.
Should have brought our sheet.
No, I know it's so silly. You know,
many-
sometimes
too
when you
many.
go boom, harm reduction.
Oh,
We do
yes.
harm reduction, and you know, we just have lovely women working for us that if you have a need, they will find a resource for you and send you that way. You know, so they're very good at their job.
All right. We've only got a few minutes left, so
Okay.
let's quickly kind of recap all the donation kind of fundraising stuff that's going on. How can people help the Women's Resource Society, help their friends and neighbors who are in need this holiday season?
Well, right now we have quite a few things going on in the
Yeah.
next couple days or all month. I always put on a socks and jocks and all things winter, I call it, just all of November and into December, just because that is our time where we desperately need all the warm things. I don't think anybody realizes how horrible it would be without clean socks and underwear, right? So
Yeah.
drop-off places for that are right at the Women's Resource Society. My wonderful boss, April at Ideal Images Weight Loss Clinic, has a hamper there that we can donate. Every month I actually choose a different thing, but November and December is socks and jocks. Always a donation there. Jamie is doing from 10 to 3 at Shoppers, as you know, because you will be there. She's doing a toy drive and a gift drive. And then later tonight at Crooked Corner Clothing, Jamie and Lily will be there. So if you want to meet Lily, she'll be there. So that's super fun. The Canadian Tire is doing a big toy drive, which is awesome because that's, I mean, easy. You just go buy the toy and drop it off. Great. So that's kind of the Christmas stuff. Always, we're accepting food donations, hygiene donations.
And I just want to mention on Facebook, if you look, Audelicious is auctioning off all their front window tables
I
for the
saw.
Santa Parade. And they're donating to the Women's Resource. So if you want to sit nice and cozy and watch the Santa Parade, get on Audelicious page on Facebook. And that's about all
Well, I think that's, and anybody that's doing a personal, if they need any help, they can message me. I'm the head of the fundraising committee also. So we're always looking for volunteers or for people to do their own twist on what's important to them, because that's the catch, right? We get passionate about what's important to us. So whatever that looks like, we are in need of it all. So, I mean, we appreciate all the love that the community gives us, right?
Absolutely. All right. Last thing. Somebody's listening right now. They need help. They need food to get through Christmas and maybe beyond, or whatever it happens to be. They need help escaping a relationship and what to do next and whatnot. How can they get in contact? What's the best thing they can do?
the best thing they can do is phone 250-787-1121 and talk to the front desk girl, Kim, and she'll direct them to who they can talk to that's best for that situation. And also we have a Facebook page, and you can private message us too, that well, it's usually the coordinator of the outreach program,
Yeah.
but also some of the board do get these messages too. And so, you know, there's always going to be someone there to help you if you need it. And there is an emergency number.
It's on the, if you don't have it in front of you, it's on
I
the
don't-
website, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
totally.
Oh, yes, and we have a new website, so you can donate on there too if you would like. But yes, all the emergency numbers are on there too.
Okay, perfect. Well, I really appreciate both of you taking some time to come down here today to talk about the Women's Resource Society, and I'm glad you could be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Deb.
you,
That was
Deb.
awesome.
You're very welcome. That's once again Board President Sherry Marshall and Board Secretary Amber Lindley of the Women's Resource Society. We'll be right back to talk to Jared Winkel right after this on Moose Talks. Get rid of all that road grime and salt this winter with Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash. With their 8-function wash bays and indoor vacuums, you won't have to spend any time out in the cold. Plus, the Mick Suds storefront is loaded with detailing supplies, air fresheners, and some winter necessities like lock de-icer and winter window wash. Keep your vehicle nice and clean this winter with Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash on Alaska Road next to McDonald's. The one to get her done, Mick Suds Truck and Car Wash. If you're a lover of the outdoors, like the crew at Backcountry, a change in weather isn't going to keep you from enjoying the great outdoors. Just keep in mind, you gotta be prepared. So head to Backcountry, where they're stocked with all the winter gear you need to take on the cold and snow. Boots, jackets, gloves, toques, socks, they've got your back and your feet and your hands and your, well, you get the idea. Backcountry, where we help you enjoy the great outdoors. Visit backcountryfsj.com. Winter is here and Pro North Heating's parts store is ready. With the largest selection of in-stock OEM and universal parts in BC, Pro North Heating stocks parts for over 35 brands of the most popular furnaces, boilers, garage heaters, and water heaters. Recently added brands include Calcana, Frigidaire, Rheem, Rude, and Schwank. Pro North Heating, now open Saturdays 8 to 12. Shop online and pick up in store on Old Fort Road. To see their full inventory, visit pronorthheating.com.
Join Murray GM in supporting the Peace Seniors Connect and Care Society this holiday season. Murray GM is proud to be a drop-off location for the Secret Santa gifts for seniors this year. Drop off your gift at Murray GM or stop by with a pre-purchased $25 gift card to go on the Christmas tree in support of the Peace Seniors Connect and Care Society. Murray GM will then donate the tree to the seniors of Fort St. John December 14th. To learn more about supporting our local seniors this holiday season, visit Murray GM on Alaska Road.
With the cost of living climbing, it's getting harder for BC families to get ahead. So to help make life more affordable right now, BC and Canada are bringing down parents' childcare costs. Many BC families can now save up to $550 more per child per month. And with more licensed childcare spaces opening around the province, quality childcare is now more affordable than ever. Find out more at gov.bc.ca/childcare. A message from the Government of BC.
Treat that special someone to a massage, pedicure, hair day, or gift certificate for the holidays at the Hairbin. Take advantage of the Hairbin's 12 days of Christmas, starting December 12th, with daily specials posted on Facebook and Instagram to help you check off everyone on your Christmas list. Bring in your VIP cards and you will be entered into a draw for $250 cash and a $250 gift card. People's Choice for Best Beauty Salon and Spa 2022 on Facebook and hairbin.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! The annual Santa Claus Parade is happening tomorrow. If you can't make it, Moose FM and energeticcity.ca has you covered. We will be live streaming on our Facebook pages. The annual Santa Claus Parade live stream from Moose FM and Energetic City is possible thanks to Murray GM. Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at energeticcity.ca.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Dub Craig. Now we're going to talk with someone who's probably very familiar to you if you follow hockey in this city. He's once a member of the Huskies, last year of their big championship team, now plays for the Senior Flyers, and is the head coach of the Northeast BC Yukon Midget Under-18 Trackers. Jared Winkel joins me now in Moose Talks. Thanks for being here, Jared.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for taking some time for us. So you're playing with the Flyers now. I want to start with that. How has that been for you? Sort of the juggling of playing and coaching at the same time?
Right now I just been practicing every week, full schedule with that. But in the games, I usually end up picking the Trackers well, it's kind of my job, so it's a priority over Flyers. So I've been able to make it about 50% of the game so far, and I'm just lucky to be playing hockey and still enjoying what I do while also being able to coach. So so far it's been going well, and any games and any ice time I get, I'm lucky to have. So
yeah. Did you know, like kind of at the end of last season, that these both these opportunities were going to come up, or is that kind of, did they both surprise you over the summer?
Well, at the end of the season, I was kind of debating whether I'd be playing hockey or if I was working.
Yeah.
Wasn't really too sure what I was going to be doing in the fall. So I ended up texting my coach, Todd Alexander, and he just kind of put a few offers on the table, a few options, and one of them was coaching the Trackers, and so I ended up kind of trying to pursue that, and it worked out pretty well. Within a month, I was hired, and then Flyers, Paul Von Nastrad just reached out to me end of the summer and said that they were going to try and start a season again. So thought, hey, why not go out to whatever ice times I can make and see what I can do.
And he was obviously very open to, you can split time and kind of make it work, given that you've got another hockey schedule to kind of fall away.
They're just lucky to have whoever comes out. So at the end of the day, they said, hey, come to what you can and we'll work it out.
In the games you have played with the Flyers, have you seen a big difference in the game itself from when you were playing for the Huskies to now?
It's definitely a lot different for sure. There's some players that range from played in the AHL to guys who've come fresh out of not playing for 4 years and were never really overly high-end players in the first place. So obviously there's been adjustments within the last month, even amongst every team themselves and including us. But main thing I've noticed is guys are just a lot stronger and a lot smarter, but not necessarily in as good of shape or as dedicated to the game as the juniors are.
So if they manage to get a hit on you, it hurts a little more, I guess.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room going by the wall on them sometimes, or standing in front of the net. You're not getting an easy rebound for sure.
Yeah. The transition to coaching then, as I understand it, is this kind of your first foray into coaching, or have you done some of that before?
Other than just helping run practices and other like things like that, just pushing pucks. No, this is my first goal.
Yeah. So how's that gone for you? Like kind of learning the ropes of going from playing to being the bench boss.
I find the biggest difference for me has just been like kind of like stress and anxiety wise, just kind of thinking like, oh, I have to worry about 20 different players and their emotions and how they're developing as people compared to just bringing myself to the arena and just focusing on myself. It kind of brings that side of things into play where it's not just yourself. You gotta show and teach these guys how to act as humans, and it's a lot more stressful when you have to think about all eyes are on you a lot of the time. So
yeah, because I suppose as a player, and I didn't play a lot of hockey, so I apologize if this is a silly thing to say, but as a player, you're worried about the chemistry maybe you develop with your line mates, but what you bring to it, and now you're more worried about the chemistry for all three of the guys on that line, and how should I switch things up, and where do these people belong in these different best situations, I suppose, eh?
Well, yeah, for sure. Obviously, as a player, like, you're worried about all these different things as well, but it's not necessarily your job to be worried about those things. You kind of, as Todd would teach us, kind of focus on yourself, focus on your next shift. But as a coach, you're kind of behind the lines, quietly thinking and doing all these things while you have to project a certain voice and mentality towards your team in the moment. But little do they know, like, you have a lot of random thoughts and ideas and things that you might try and do, but you can't really let them know that because you don't want to have them thinking, oh, like, I'm on the fourth line. Or I'm not playing today because he thought this idea and he doesn't think I'm good or whatever, right? So you kind of got to balance just saying the right things in the right moment and also doing the right things so that people can be successful.
Have you found like Todd Alexander, for example, and other coaches maybe or have you been coached by previously in your life, have they been helpful to you? Have you been able to reach out to them and get a little mentorship even?
Oh, hugely, yeah. I talked to Todd and even Gary Alexander weekly. I usually stop in at their practices on Thursdays after ours is over. So, and then just text messages, calls, and and Todd's not only helped me with coaching, but just in general as a person and as a hockey player especially, grown so much since I started playing for him 4 or 5 years ago, and I wouldn't be who I am or where I am without him. So, huge thanks to him for sure.
Well, let's turn to the season with the under-18 Trackers. I mean, in general, how are you feeling about things so far as we're just like a couple months in, really?
Success-wise, it's been excellent. We're a top team in our league so far, and really can't complain about the stat side of things for sure.
Has there been, I know I asked Todd about this a lot last year when you guys never lost with the Huskies. Do you find that challenging to sort of keep everybody on task and that, not to rest on your laurels, even though we're having so much success, even in some way with a rookie head coach, if we could put it that way?
No, exactly. That's kind of why I was saying it's been really good stat and success-wise.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's still early, so we're more just focusing on becoming a better team every month, every week, every practice we're on the ice, just developing. And we don't want to sit on our morals, like you said. Just work, and at the end of the day, we can do as well as we want during the regular season, but it comes down to the end of the season and who you are by then. That's
right. And I have to ask, as a coach now that you're a coach, what kind of level of satisfaction are you deriving seeing, young men essentially growing into themselves, learning and getting better, and maybe taking some of your advice to heart, and you seeing them develop in the game when that was you not really that long ago? That must be pretty satisfying to see that happening.
Yeah, it's been super cool. There's been some times where I got some older assistant coaches with Tyler Loney and Troy Hunt. So I both talk to them quite a lot about random feelings and different things that are going on. And I've said to them a few times, wow, it was really cool when I said something to a guy and he went out and did it, and he came back and was like, wow, that makes so much more sense to me, or that works so much better. So those things have been really cool. But honestly, for me, it hasn't really set in to where that I'm doing it for the, they're growing a lot because of me. It's kind of been, we're all growing as a unit, because a lot of the times, the 17-year-olds, they'll say things that I'm like, I didn't even think about that. That didn't even cross my mind. So we're all kind of growing, and obviously a lot of the things that I'm saying is a lot more than the guys are saying, but they do say a lot of things that have taught me some things about them and just the culture of the age group and all that kind of thing. It's been a learning curve for me, so haven't really set in that I've been helping these guys grow, but I'm sure it'll happen soon enough, and it'll feel pretty cool once I settle myself in and really get to it.
Very cool. Well, Jared, I really thank you for your time, and I wish you good luck in the rest of the season with the Trackers, good luck in the rest of the season with the Senior Flyers, and I hope you'll come back sometime. We'll chat more about this stuff, okay?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's Jared Winkel, Flyers player and head coach of the Northeast BC Yukon Midget Under-18 Trackers. We'll be right back to wrap things up on Moose Talks right after this.
There is always something going on in the energetic city, and staff from the City of Fort St. John Recreation Department have planned a variety of exciting programs and events. Here's what's coming up.
Christmas tree drop-off is December 26th to January 9th at the green space between the Centennial Park and the Fort St. John North Peace Museum. Trees will be reused at the High on Ice Winter Festival.
For more information, visit the City of Fort St. John Recreation page on Facebook and the city's website at fortstjohn.ca.
If you're a lover of the outdoors, like the crew at Backcountry, a change in weather isn't going to keep you from enjoying the great outdoors. Just keep in mind, you gotta be prepared. So head to Backcountry, where they're stocked with all the winter gear you need to take on the cold and snow. Boots, jackets, gloves, toques, socks, they've got your back, and your feet, and your hands, and your... well, you get the idea. Backcountry, where we help you enjoy the great outdoors. Visit backcountryfsj.com.
Did you know that you can design a piece of jewelry that you've always wanted? Simply bring your old gold and unused gemstones to Carter's Jewelers and tell us to just do it, and we will. You're the boss. Carter's Jewelers, 9908 101st Avenue.
When it comes to iPhones, most people think you can't replace a battery, but Micro Consulting can. If you need a new battery, see the crew at Micro Consulting, because battery life is important. It's how you stay connected, take care of business, and keep in touch with the ladies. See? They just don't stop calling. Hello there. Oh, hi Mom. Also, remember to update your contacts.
For new batteries, screen replacements, parts and more, see Micro Consulting Sales and Service, keeping you connected on 100th Street and on Facebook.
Your little floop is too cute to go unnoticed. Upload the cutest, sassiest, or the most dapper photo of your pet for the Pet of the Month contest. You can upload your fur baby's picture at moosefm.ca/contests for your chance to win a $100 credit to the North Peace Veterinary Clinic. Entries close on the 14th, so what are you waiting for? Pet of the Month is presented by the North Peace Veterinary Clinic and 100.1 Moose FM. Craving something delicious and adventurous for you and your sweetheart? Date night, where you and your sweetie can dive into the delicious flavors at Olio's Pizza and then have an adventurous experience at Amazing Escapes. Head over to moosefm.ca and click Win to enter date night and tell us why you deserve this delectable night out on the town. Moose FM's date night is presented by Olio's Pizza and Amazing Escapes.
Our community first. This is Moose Talks with Dub Craig on Moose FM.
My thanks to our guests Sherry Marshall, Amber Lindley, and Jared Winkel for stopping by today. Make sure you check out all these great locally produced podcasts over at the Energetic City podcast page. You can catch episodes of Secrets of the North, Voices of the Peace, Before the Peace, and episodes of Moose Talks for your listening pleasure. Especially good on a cold day like today when you just want to be curled up in a ball somewhere. Well, at least I do. You can check that out at energeticcity.ca/podcasts. Well, that's our show. Jordan Prentice and Trey Lopashinsky are the producers of Moose Talks. I'm Dub Craig. Be well.
Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Moose Talks, a weekly talk show about Fort St. John and the North Peace.